Okay, welcome to another episode of the Back and Forth. I'm here with my homeboy, my special guest, TY38 alumni. Say what's up to the people, homie.
What it do, Dollar Bill.
Good, we're in the building. Today we're going to be talking about what?
Hip-hop movies.
Hip-hop movies, documentaries.
Yes. Things dealing with hip-hop.
Yeah.
Within the film realm.
Yep.
Right.
So we're going to go through the decades, and if we're off a little bit, correct us in the comments. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's coming off the top of the dome. Just film knowledge. So we didn't do any research, no wiki, no IMD. We just going straight off the dome. So, you ready?
I'm ready as can be.
All right. So this first film is the very first. It's considered the very first hip hop film.
Okay.
It's called Wild Style. You ever seen Wild Style? In the middle, there's Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I think I was probably like 10, 11.
Yeah. So this is considered the first hip-hop film documentary.
You know, it's so crazy. The reason I laughed so hard when I saw it, it looked like the Wild 'N Out.
They probably use that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That's what it looked like.
Because that font is hard to find. I tried to find it and I can't.
Hey, it's crazy though. That's like straight graffiti. Like
Yeah. So I think this came out like 80.
So who the two girls?
Just chicks.
Just
just chicks. Just chicks in the film.
Right.
But it takes you through like hip hop parties.
Okay.
I forget the premise. I have seen it because I bought the DVD and the soundtrack.
Okay.
But I hadn't watched it in a while, no lie.
Do you know when it came out? I mean, do you know when
I think it's like 80 or 81, something like that.
Oh shit. I think I was just being
Yeah. So and this is it came out of New York, so this was New York documenting their own thing. So but it was also giving us an insight of what early hip hop was in 81 for all of us that wasn't from that area. And it's pretty good, man. I recommend that people check it out. If you're a real hip hop head and you really love this culture, this is one of the things you should know about. You should know about Wild Style, the very first hip hop film.
Can you find it on YouTube?
You have to pay for it.
Okay.
It's not free.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you have to pay
I don't
for
blame
it.
'em.
But if you got a Fire Stick, you may be able to find that joint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to encourage bootlegging, but I'm just saying.
Hey man.
Yeah, but you never seen this, huh?
I'm telling you, I remember seeing something. This ain't the movie with the Fat Boys, is it? What movie is that?
That's Crush Groove.
Okay.
But there's parts in this movie that's been sampled in songs. Whenever they do hip hop documentaries, you may see clips of this movie in those documentaries. Okay. And stock footage and stuff every now and then.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, but it's really fucking good. Wild Style.
Wild Style.
All right.
Okay.
This next film is another early hip hop documentary. All right. This is called Breaking and Entering. It's I know the picture's kind of small, but I didn't want to block out cameras. But this is a hip hop documentary about West Coast hip hop.
Never saw this.
Like 83, 84, something like that. And Ice-T is in this.
What it's called?
Breaking and Entering. It's about breakdancing, DJing, pop locking, and West Coast.
Had people, white folks probably scared about that shit. Like they talking about breaking in the house.
Listen to me. When my homeboy in high school first told me about, I first found out about this film in high school. We was in the lunchroom doing our hip hop shit, and he was talking about this movie called Breaking and Entering. And when I heard Breaking and Entering, the first thing I thought about was this motherfucker sneaking through windows and shit. For real though.
Look at the artwork on it though.
Yeah, it looks wild on it. They break dance and they got popping and shit.
An old school Nintendo cartridge.
The old school Nintendo artwork.
Yeah. like Double Dragon.
Yeah. But this like West Coast hip hop, we don't hear too much about their story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talked about it previously in the other one. We were saying we know they say that it started in New York, but how we just don't know that they was doing it much longer over there, but they just didn't have the exposure, because they didn't have no record labels out there to sing. What, RCA out there? What was that one?
Out there,
Tower Records.
Out in LA?
Yeah, what was that one?
Oh, all the labels was out there. Was all the Capitol, Motown was out there at that time.
Okay.
So all the majors was out there. They just wasn't, as I heard earlier today.
I guess New York probably had the people like Ron DMC and them. I mean, not Ron DMC, but like Russell and them guys that was like really probably putting the footwork for the artists.
Yeah, but there wasn't really anyone out there in the West Coast doing a Russell Simmons. So that's probably one of the reasons why we don't know about hip hop from the West Coast until later on.
Yeah,
because there wasn't, at least that I know of. You know what I'm saying? There probably was a guy out there doing promotions and shit. But I mean, as far as like actually doing what Russell Simmons did. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, besides Eazy-E and Suge Knight, I just see all the other West Coast rappers being independent. I mean, you don't really see them being under like no big regime, like even E40, any of them Too Short. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah. A lot of those labels had to start independent because the majors wasn't signing them, so they had to do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? But Breaking and Entering is a very good hip-hop documentary. It covers West Coast hip-hop, and I recommend a lot of people see that. And as I said, Ice-T is in this. Okay. So Ice-T was getting his exposure early on. All right? All right, so this next one is one that we all know.
Yeah, we all know.
That's the one you was just talking about the Fat Boys in. Yeah. Now, of course, this came out in 1985. This was like the mainstream hip-hop film. You know what I'm saying? Like the one that people really know about. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J.
That font is trash.
I think it's like a graffiti font.
Man, that shit is trash. That H and that V. Oh my God.
It looks 80ish like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit look terrible.
But you got the Fat Boys on there, Sheila E.
Is it Rolls Royce?
Is that a car? That Roy? I don't know. It might be a Cadillac.
Yeah, okay.
Probably Cadillac. Blair Underwood. This was his first film.
I remember seeing.
Yeah, he was playing Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Fat Boys, Run DMC, Curtis Blow. Then of course you had cameos by LL, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons was. Rick Rubin was in it when they was in the college dorm scene. When they was ordering records, he was like, "Yo, man, you know we don't have the money. We got more orders coming in." That was Rick Rubin, the other founder of Def Jam.
What bridge you think they under? If anybody in the comments know that, let us know. What bridge?
I'm gonna probably say. I don't want to. It may be Brooklyn Bridge.
I think so, because there's so many bridges out there.
I know they have Queens Bridge, and then there's the Brooklyn Bridge. Those are only two that I know of.
Yeah, it's about 3-4 bridges out there because they all, they on islands.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. But of course, Crush Groove is that movie.
That was the movie when the Fat Boys was in there eating though, right? When they was in there.
Yeah. And they was the Sparrows. They had the all you can eat, you can eat. And
classic.
I seen this on VHS. Of course, that was back in the days like when a movie came out, you had to wait almost 6 months to a year before you got it for home.
No, actually, it was a year to 2 years.
Back in the 80s.
Yep. I was looking at something when they were talking about this new how quick it is on demand. They were saying back in the day it actually took a year to 2 to get the VHS.
Wow.
6 months to a year to be on DVD. Now stream this instant.
Off the top.
So I'm going off, but just real quick. Whenever they drop a movie now in the movie theaters, they won't go no longer than 2 months in the movie theaters.
Yeah, they go straight to what? On demand and stuff like that.
Yeah,
streaming. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Movie theaters dead.
Times has changed for real though.
Yes,
and now this is on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
You can watch this on YouTube. So if anybody want to know about how hip hop was in '85, this film pretty much captured it. And some of the biggest names that are legends are in this film when they first started out. You're gonna see a young LL in there. Of course, it's the young Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, Sheila E., who was like an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Like I think she was just there for the love interest, but they tried to get her to rap a little bit too and shit. Because I don't think she knew much about hip hop at this time.
Sheila E.?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. She played the love interest of Russell.
Russell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, that's that one. That's Crush Groove. And again, I most definitely recommend people see that one right there. All right. This next one is the other classic that came out, I think. Did B Street come out in '84? And then Crush Groove in '85? Which came first, B Street or Crush Groove? Y'all let us know.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell you, because you hear the years he said, I was born in 81. So,
right.
You know, I didn't see these movies till years later, you know, when they was coming on like Channel 66 or WGN.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Beat Street is a movie. I think this came out, I'm going to probably say.
Basically about breakdancing too?
It's pretty much about all the elements, because they got a guy in there that's a graffiti writer, that's a main character. Lil Lee, who's a breakdancing character, he's like a main character, so they focus on both of those most definitely. DJing, Lil Lee's brother, who's the oldest brother, he's a DJ, so they pretty much focus on all the elements.
Okay.
And of course rapping, because at the end they had like this big soiree, all the rappers come through. Because the guy who plays the graffiti rapper, he died in this film, so they had a big funeral for him at the end. Ramon, you've got to see Beat Street, fam. If you haven't seen it in a while, I recommend you see this again.
This was crazy. A lot of these movies I seen, but you gotta see, I saw them as a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of these movies, once you see them once, I'm scared. A lot of movies I'm really scared to go back and watch back, because I know a lot of them ain't gonna stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Yeah, but Beat Street and Crush Groove most definitely stand the test of time.
Oh, Crush Groove, yeah.
Yeah, but Beat Street, it has, you have Melly Mel in this movie, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. DJ Kool Herc is in this film. It's a lot of cameos, dude. The System is in this film. Brenda K stars in this film. Man, a lot of big names in this film.
You know him.
I'm an old head, so when I was there, I was in the genre. I was in the decade.
He was in the background, spinning on his back.
All that shit, break dances, all that.
Have
shit.
You ever Did you break dance?
I used to break dance, but my strongest point was I never could helicopter. I never could do that. My strongest point was backspinning, popping and locking, and doing this thing called the crab. Not crab, not actually swipe, the thing called swiping, and crab, like you actually walking your hands like that.
Yeah.
And your legs be up in the air and shit, and people be bouncing around. But I never bounced around, but I was good at swiping, crab walking, back spinning, and popping and locking.
See, if we was in New York, they'd call his ass out right now, boy. Like, let me see one of the moves.
Man, my legs ain't like Common's and shit. Common's still brave, probably somewhere still on his fucking head right now. Shit. I never could head spin on my head or helicopter. I used to always want to do that shit. Man, that looked like a feat.
Breakdancing is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't know where we found all that damn cardboard and the linoleum, but we was finding that shit. We was breaking on that shit. In the wintertime, I was living in Oak Hill Gardens out in the Wild Hunters. And I mean, we had a piece of linoleum we was carrying around with us. In the fucking snow, we was breakdancing this shit.
Out there.
Cold in the month, we out there breaking and popping this shit. All right, here's another classic film from the 80s. Breaking.
Yeah, I remember.
I know you've seen this one, right?
Yeah, I definitely remember this.
Yeah, this one like be playing on. It's on cable right now, some damn way.
Yeah, I definitely remember this.
It's about West Coast hip hop.
She busting that ballerina move.
Special K. I think her name was Special K. Oh, okay. That was her character. But it was about West Coast hip hop. And it was like, I guess in this one, I know in part 2 they was trying to dance and just save their community center.
Right.
And this first one, I think it was just about her trying to decide if she wanted to be hood or prissy.
The first Say the Last Dance.
Something like this. First Say the Last Dance.
Wow.
I never looked at it like that. Because really, they're not. It's just a few battles in here, like, breaking and popping battles. But it wasn't like in the second part, they was like dancing for a purpose. Community centers when they get closed down, so they was trying to raise money. But this one was just about her trying to decide if she wanted to be down or not.
Be down.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then of course there's part 2 and shit. Electric Boogaloo. I don't know why they called it that. All right, but this other movie, I don't know if you've seen this one or not.
Okay.
This was like mid-'80s, 85, 86. Mario Van Peebles No, he is, right?
Yeah. Posse and
yeah. He's in this film. I think I don't know if he produced it, but he's the main character in this guy.
Okay.
In this film, and it's called Rapping.
Nah.
Your boy's in this film. The one that plays Dwayne Wayne on.
Okay, Kadeem Hardison.
Yeah, Kadeem Hardison in this film. Eric LaSalle.
Okay.
He's in this film. But what makes this movie so corny, and I'm not trying to shit on it, but I'm going to tell you.
He said.
They tried to throw they bid in right after Crush Grew after Beat Street, you know what I'm saying? So they were trying to ride the wave a little bit, breaking this shit.
Why my man in the lower right-hand corner like John Travolta from right here? Like it's
I know, right? But he's supposed to be like one of the tough guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
But look, I want you to watch this, T.Y., okay?
Right.
Whenever you find it's like something's going. You ever see a TV show that in the 90s called Cop Rock? Used to come on Channel 7 in Chicago. It was like a drama musical. So like if somebody was getting busted, freeze! Then they'd be like, you're under arrest, so you better not move. They started rapping or singing, right?
Nah.
This is how this movie was. They'd be walking down the street, man, T.Y., I need a beer now. Let's go and chill. Out of fucking nowhere, they started rapping and shit.
Oh, okay. So it's like the first Glee.
Boy, you're on fire, boy. If you see this shit, you're going to be like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, I'll be like, what the fuck I'm watching? Like, where the G at? What is this, raping?
And Mario Van Peebles' character is Rappington. Oh, where's my phone? I gotta IMD this shit. Hold on. He got like an obvious ass, corny ass rap name and shit.
Shakespeare ass type name.
Oh, it's something. Oh, you almost hit it. Let me see. Rapping. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Hold on. What was his character's name? Oh my goodness! Come on, phone. Stop dragging this shit. John Hood, but in the movie they called him like Rapping Hood.
What was it? What is it?
And on here it says John Hood, but in the film they called him Rapping Hood, like Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Like, he gonna make me watch this movie and be calling Dollar like, all right, man, you owe me $2 wasting my damn time.
In 2 hours of your life.
yeah. I'm gonna need $2 for that shit, man.
Oh, you man. $2 in 2 hours.
Man. Shit.
But again, man, this movie, of course, does not stand the test of time. It's tossed to the fucking.
So is it based? Where do it supposed to be based out of? I mean, what city?
I think it's based in. I want to say New York.
Okay.
Because the last time I seen it was like almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
And that was my first time seeing it 10 years ago. Because I really spent years avoiding this shit. Because at the height, there's a song called "Itching for a Scratch" by the Foursome D's. You ever heard about that? You heard that song?
Say it again.
It's a song called "Itching for a Scratch" by the Foursome D's.
Nah.
Okay, that was a song off their soundtrack. That was the biggest song off their soundtrack. All right.
Okay.
Other than that, they don't have any memorable songs, off the soundtrack. But I was a teen.
The movie don't look memorable.
Let me tell you, man. Nobody talks about this movie. When they talk about hip hop movies, this one does not come up. But I'm talking about. I'm putting some shine on it. So Mario Van Peebles, if you see this, big up. But if I ever see you, I'm gonna say don't ever. He redeemed himself with New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? He really, and with Posse and stuff like that, he really redeemed himself because this was gonna hang over his head for a long time, dude. For real though.
I would say it was that bad.
It was. All right, next film. All right. Here's another movie from the 80s. Disorderlies.
That's the movie with the fat boys in the I remember that movie.
And it was like Orderlies for this old rich guy shit.
They started coming on like Channel 50.
Yeah. It comes on like every now and then on weird ass odd channels and shit.
Yeah. I remember that.
But it was a big film.
I definitely remember that.
This was the Fat Boys blowing up. They was really getting theirs at this time because they had Dead Crush Groove. They had some hot albums out, so they was really riding a wave. So when they did this movie and the movie took off, we loved it. I mean, it's like a hood classic.
You see what type of shoes he got on his feet?
Let I look like some Adidas.
Adidas.
Yeah, look like some. Of course, they was.
Now, the dude was Spanish.
One of them was Prince Mark D, the one that passed away. Okay. Yeah, and he's the one that ended up becoming a big time record producer. He produced Real Love for Mary J. Real Love.
Damn.
That's his beat, dog.
Wow.
Fucking.
So he worked with Puffy, huh?
Yeah, he's part of that production crew for a minute.
What happened to the other two dudes? What did they ever do?
Well, Kuraski, he just kind of played the background. He didn't do nothing for a long time. And Buff, the human beatbox, he died in like 91, 92.
I was young, never really listened to their music. So on their albums, did they mostly do bebopping and rapping? Like how did
they did on their early stuff, which is classic. Their first two albums are fucking classic. Curtis Blow did a lot of producing for them. So he had laced them with a lot of joints. But one of the biggest joints that I like is called Can You Feel It? And Stick 'em. Stick 'em.
Now, this is because, like I say, growing up and seeing them, was they known for rapping or was they known for bebopping?
They were known for both.
So while they was rapping, they would do their thing?
It would be, the human beatbox would be in the back. I'm hungry, doing this shit, beatboxing along, kind of harmonizing with his beatbox and shit.
Okay.
And he was like the first person that we ever heard beatboxing before Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh came like a year or two afterwards.
I remember.
Yeah. That was I think that was
Biz Markie.
Yeah, Biz Markie brought that in.
So
you had three different beatboxing styles though. It was Buff's, that was his. Dougie Fresh was more musical and weird sounds and shit. And who we say Biz Markie? Biz Markie was like, So you had three different beatboxing styles.
That's crazy. That's why I say that. I don't think we'll ever get back to that. The essence of that, man. Like somebody did that right now. Somebody would probably look at them like it'll pop on TikTok.
Because it's nostalgic.
But I don't see nobody right now like I can rap and beatbox.
1985.
That's a gift though.
You in a cipher. You either beating on the table,
man, you know how much I used to be, bro. We used to love, man.
Man, I had homies that was cold with that shit.
Yeah, I can believe you.
Oh my goodness, I wish we was videotaping that shit back then, dude. I had a homie used to pop lock, and when he passed the wave, he would do it like this, and he would make his eyebrows wave. We used to be like, how the fuck you do that, dude?
So at the same time he doing his eyebrows doing that shit.
He would like pass the wave, it would go through his eyebrows and come out. We used to be like, how the fuck you do that?
Oh yeah, that's ill.
My boy Ice Mike, if you're around, man, I'll never forget that
Ice
shit.
Mike for that
He was cold with that shit, boy.
Damn.
Yep.
Disorderlies though.
Yep.
Check that out, kids.
Yeah, the Fat Boys. This is the movie that blew them up. And then after that, they kind of started falling off because they kind of started doing a lot of. They was trying to cross over.
Who was the white dude?
He was a guy that they was taking care of in the film.
I know, but do you know who he was as an actor?
No, we can find out right quick. Find out.
Cause I know it had that mean looking white dude that was in there. That was like in all the movies. Was always playing like mean. Damn, I can't think nothing else he was in. But he always had like that mean. Yeah. Nah, he was the dude I think that like shot him in the butt.
Okay, so you have this white guy was Anthony Geary.
That's one thing I do remember in that movie when dude got shot in the butt.
Tony Piana. Yeah, I have to watch that movie again. This has been a while since I saw it, but it was a very good hip hop comedy.
It really was.
Yeah, like actually the first hip hop comedy.
Wow.
If you don't consider rapping a comedy, because that shit was fun as
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Not trying to shit on rapping again, but damn, that was a waste of time, dog.
Man, damn. He needed to edit some boo-boo emojis when he said that, because he knows he bloop, bloop, bloop.
Shit.
He know it is, because he keeps saying it.
Here's another. All right, this is the last one in the 80s. This is a hip-hop documentary called Style Wars. You ever heard of this one?
It looked like it was made by the same people that made the other one, Wild Style.
Wild Style? I think they tried to copy that look. Yeah. But this is strictly about graffiti and graffiti writers in New York. And there was a guy in there named Dez, a young graffiti writer named Dez. and he grew up to be one of hip hop's icons. Do you know who that is?
I ain't gonna lie, I probably saw this movie. I remember seeing a movie when I was younger that was just strictly about graffiti.
Yeah.
I just probably don't remember the name.
Yeah. A young K. Slade was in this film.
Was in this? Oh, wow.
He was Dez.
Damn.
At the time. Yeah, he was a cold ass
so that was
writer back in the day.
But this was a real movie about real people.
More like a documentary.
Okay.
It's a documentary. So they was just following young graffiti writers around on a train. Their parents was tripping on them and shit. So it's really good. It's really good.
I was watching something like this before when they were showing like the different techniques because they didn't have all those different tips.
Yeah.
So they used to do different stuff like put a marker top on it to make it come out fatter and fan. Like just watching it, just like damn. Like that's why I say the innovative of like even like your equipment. I know we're getting off topic, but just the person that innovated some of this stuff is like damn. But then you see where it's at now. It seems a little bit more generic.
Yes.
You know.
Versus back then?
Back then, man. Yeah. It felt like he was actually doing something.
Yeah, but back then you didn't have the serious technology, so you had to also at the same time be a little bit of innovative, savvy to try to rig it a little bit. Yeah, you know. When I was getting into graffiti writing, I was always amazed at the colors, the fucking way they would use the fucking like. There was this one style that we was doing in high school.
Okay.
And I got out of control with it that the school was like, the principal was trying to find out who the hell I was. So, of course, we had tag names. So at this time I had SAP. Show and Prove. That was my name, SAP, right?
Okay.
So I had, once my homie showed me how to take a candle, just a regular candle, and just use that to write on windows and glass, fucking blew my mind. Because I used to be like, man, how's they write on this shit? I could never figure out what that material, was. And he told me it's just a candle. Just take a candle and just start, shh. Man, that's some of the most beautiful goddamn graffiti I've ever seen, dog.
So you did use spray paint?
I only used spray paint when I was tagging. I never could do pieces like that. I only just tag. I've been working on my tag for years. I still tag on every now and then just to perfect it.
So how long did it take you to stop the running? Like, did you learn that? Like, how close you need to put it? Because, you know, it runs. Sometimes you put it.
I never got into that. I only got into just, every time I sprayed, I had a tip on it.
Okay.
One of them straw-like tips and shit.
Yeah.
But I never really, I was mainly a candle and fat cap Sharpie guy.
Now, before we move on, though, I will admit, one of the illest things in America, I seen it across the world, but the graffiti on trains.
I love it.
Man, when I see trains come by, man, I be trying to read some of that shit. Like, I can't even read it. That shit looks so dope. Like, I love when I can't read that shit.
I love it.
Like, that shit's so amazing.
What I be thinking about is the day or the night that motherfucker did that,
man.
And it probably was in goddamn New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Because that's getting up.
Yeah.
You can tag your shit on a train car in New York, and that motherfucker will travel all across the country. So people be seeing your tag across the country, dude.
So you think how many trains we saw coming through Chicago? Because every train come through Chicago for where they go. So
pieced up, dude.
Man, I used to love that shit.
Man, I used to go with the homies to bomb the train yards at night. It was a train on 69th at Ashland. The train yard on 69th at Ashland. We used to go in that motherfucker at nights. And I used to be with them carrying their bags and shit, but they used to be, shit was so wild, dude. You know what I'm saying? And a few times we would get chased by security and shit, but we never got caught.
Some guy bought a building in New York, and it's pretty dope. He had a bunch of people just tagged the whole building up.
Wow.
That shit looks so dope.
I would love to see that.
Inside.
I would love to see that.
Like, he like, hey, if you want to live here, this is what your apartment wall gonna look like.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I would love to see that.
The whole building tagged up.
I got a homeboys down here named Old School. He's originally from the Bronx, New York, but he lives here now. He's cold as shit. If you ever see in my booth, there's a graffiti piece on canvas, the Frankenstein or whatever. He did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
My guy Old School. All right, let's move on over to the 90s.
But it is crazy how graffiti, breakdancing was so essential to hip hop.
Yes.
Like it was hip hop.
Yes.
You do not see that. That's why I say so much shit has changed.
Well, you know, we still see graffiti. Man. We just don't see as many crews.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the whole magnitude. Like I say, we just watched everything.
Yeah.
Like even the titles of the movie, just like I'm saying, how everything was incorporated with everything. Yeah. They have took that away. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but they don't really have movies that focus on the culture anymore. They just have movies that have hip hop soundtracks, and they dress in hip hop fashion and the slang, but it don't be like about the actual culture. Yeah. Like now what we're finna get into in the '90s, there's a lot of films that were hip hop inspired, but still it wasn't about hip hop, but they was hip hop inspired. Okay. The first one, of course, John Singleton and Boys in the Hood. All right. Yeah, man. Is this considered a hip hop film?
I don't know. I wouldn't consider this a hip hop film. I consider this more just as a black film or just a hood film. Okay. The reason I say that because you go look at it demographically, white people ain't never watched this shit. You go to the average white person, have they seen it? They like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah.
Yeah. So, but this movie, you know, of course, had a lot of critical acclaim.
Ice Cube and MC8. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like 8 was in Menace.
No, okay, yeah. Yeah, my bad.
Only one him was Cube. Was it another rapper?
Yeah, that might be a
cameo or something in this film?
Yeah, I'm tripping. No, I think it was just Cube in this, yeah.
Cube was the only rapper in this film, right?
Yeah. Okay. I know, it had a hell of a soundtrack.
Yo-Yo was in this movie. Yo-Yo was in when they was at the barbecue. She was one of the girls sitting down with Regina Hall. Okay. Yeah, so Yo-Yo was the only other rapper in this film.
I don't know.
That I know of.
If I did have to say we had to scale it on a scale of 1 to 10 to being a hip-hop movie, I'd probably give it a 4.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because like I say, it wasn't too much.
It wasn't about the actual culture.
Yeah.
But it was in the era of the golden era of hip hop.
Yeah, I mean soundtrack wise.
Right. If you did a black film in the '90s, you couldn't do it without using any kind of hip hop influence.
I can say that.
You know what I'm saying?
I can say that.
Yeah. A lot of film, like even Boomerang. Of course, that's not a hip hop film, but it came out in that era where hip hop was at its,
peak.
At its peak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So movies was trying to, especially a film like Boomerang, Eddie Murphy, his audience is black, so he had to incorporate the new shit. So that's why the soundtrack was all that rap shit and it was a good balance of hip hop and R&B.
I mean, do you consider this hip hop?
I consider it a hip hop film because it came out in that golden era.
Okay.
And it has, not just because Ice Cube's in it, but it's one of the first films that Ice Cube ever got a taste of, doing acting in.
Right.
And it also catapulted his career in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Coming out leaving NWA and shit like that. So this was a really good transition for him. You know what I'm saying? Really so a lot of us would consider, like I said, it's not talking about the culture, but it's influenced by the culture.
Okay.
Same thing with this other film, Menace. It may not be considered a hip hop film because it doesn't talk about the culture, but the culture influenced it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely is influenced by the culture, but I probably give this the same rating as probably about a 4, because like you said, just being influenced by the culture, but like,
right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't go into. You don't see no element. You don't see nobody rapping, scratching.
If Tupac would have got that role, probably would have said something a little different.
Glad you said that. Bam.
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Yeah.
It's rapping.
Like I say, I'm just being real. If you take the gun out the movie,
it's all hip hop.
You can just focus on Q. The whole movie could have been focused on Q.
You did not say that. Oh shit. Because
think about it, he went to an audition. They never showed none of them other doing. They never showed none of them other people doing nothing besides Tupac getting ran down by Rodamass.
Right. Yeah.
You feel me?
Right. You're right.
Dude seeing his baby mama.
You're right. You're right.
But Q, the chick, Q, the gun, Q, for the part them robbing dude, Q, the Queen Latifah scene. Like
you're right. Q,
when he came in the apartment, he went in the house. He went in there, DJ. Turned this shit off, with the bed. You feel me? So it's hip hop. It's hip hop
all day. All day. The soundtrack was fucking stupid, boy.
Pump it up. That part when they did that DJ, hey,
yeah.
that shit so hard.
She looked at his tape.
I would like to see
like,
something like that in real life.
Oh, you local?
Yeah,
Latif and shit on his skills and shit.
And your boy Flex, he was the dude that came out the.
Oh yeah. Flex was in that movie. Yeah. Flex played Michael Jackson, didn't he?
Yeah.
Flex he came out snapping and shit. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. That's hip hop. I mean, even if you take Tupac out of the movie,
it's still a hip hop film.
It's still hip hop.
It's still a hip hop film.
It was still based around him.
Yeah, it was.
I mean?
But it has so many hip hop elements in it.
Yeah, man.
Tresh makes an appearance in the film.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, Naughty by Nature, had that Uptown Anthem on there. Rakim had what? Don't Sweat. The Ledge.
Don't Sweat the Technique. That was in there?
The Ledge. No, Don't Sweat the Technique was on an album.
Okay.
But the Ledge, let's see if you know the Ledge.
Okay.
What else was on there? Cypress Hill had a joint on there. It wasn't H to the K. I think it was H to the K.
I mean,
EPMD.
They even went into look. The last scene ended in the hip hop party.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, in a straight party.
When he was at the competition, right?
No, when he was chasing him through the party and he killed him on the roof.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah, he was like
at a house party.
Hey man,
so,
you got the juice now.
I get that about a 7.5 on being hip hopish. 8. Now I get that at 8.
Man, you gotta get that at least about an 8.5. That's pretty much. Only thing that's missing is graffitiing and MCing, because we didn't see a lot of rapping or that in there. But we seen a lot of breaking. We just seen a lot of DJing though.
Yeah, that's an 8.5 real talk.
Yeah,
very hip hop.
Yeah. All right. What about this one here? Is that considered a hip hop film? You got a hip hop act, Kid and Play. They're rapping in it. Mainly, it's a lot of rapping.
Very hip hop. Very hip hop.
It's very hip hop. They dancing.
I had to go really. You go through because this is a classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even with the people that's in it, you know what I mean? The cameos.
Yep.
All that. Martin DJing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I was very hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
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 And again, it came out at that time. You know what I'm saying? All the movies were good.
Look, he got a record in his hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Martin, yep, right there in the back. I'm a DJ, man.
Full force in there. What type of group was they?
They was mainly a hip hop and R&B group. They just didn't do a lot of rapping, but they had a lot of hard ass rap beats. And every now and then somebody may spit a verse. But it was mainly hip hop R&B.
Now, so that
group.
short dude was like they Flavor Flav.
What did he do in the group?
I think he was probably just. If you watch some of their videos, he maybe just be doing maybe
the Flavor Flav dude.
Yeah, I don't think he's really. Then again, we don't know if he's a songwriter now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, but I know.
Yeah. Probably made the beats.
Probably made the beat. Yeah.
Cause they wouldn't have him around just to have him around unless it was like somebody's brother.
They're related.
Cousin. Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're related.
You know what I mean? Because if you not doing any use to the group,
I'm gonna tell you who's in the group and they've been in the group for fucking free. And then literally do shit.
Who?
Pretty Tony.
He said this before, yeah.
From the Lost Boys.
Yeah, you said this before.
And I love the Lost Boys. But Pretty Tony ain't did shit.
He related to somebody?
That's Mr. Cheeks group, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty Tony. Spig Nice, I think he probably would do a beat or two. Of course, the one that got killed was the hype guy, was like their hype man. But
that's
Pretty
the first
Tony
movie.
Shit.
That's the first movie that I can actually recall seeing somebody pull out a condom.
Yeah, when they was gonna get ready to do their thing. Yeah.
Seriously, that's the first movie that I recall pulling out a condom, and then I think ain't too many other movies ever pulled out condoms, man. Just being real, even though it was dry, she was like she ain't having none.
That motherfucker was had a birthday coming.
I mean, you're very hip hop. Very hip hop, because even with the scene when he busted the old folks party, he started rapping.
George Clinton.
Yeah, George Clinton. Yeah. Fucking right. That's a 10, man.
Yeah, all day.
That's a 10.
Damn.
I'm sorry. That's a 10. I had to think about it. I'm like, man, that shit, like, I'm thinking about it. They rap about twice the movie, the dance scene.
They had that classic rap battle between them two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hip hop.
Yeah, that shit is super hip hop.
They dance for like 15 minutes in that movie.
Yeah.
Then the old folks party. Oh yeah, that shit. Yeah,
most definitely. Big ups to House Party. That shit is.
Yeah,
like you said,
the
2 thumbs up
ending is still the best ending to any movie.
Huh?
The ending to any movie. That's the best ending to any movie.
So when he got back home.
Because if you go listen to it through the whole credits, he getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, he getting his ass whooped.
Through the whole credits.
Yeah.
No,
it shouts out to, what's his name?
Harris.
Robin Harris. Yeah, shouts out to
Shot-Town.
Shot-Town in the house, yeah.
Baby kids.
Yep. Yeah,
that's
right.
a 10. That's a 10,
all
bro.
Right.
Real talk.
Right on. All right. Here's this next one. This is a documentary.
Okay.
Rhyme and Reason. You ever seen this? It has Master P in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mac 10.
I remember that.
Who else was in this film?
I remember that. Yeah, it had Raekwon in it.
They had the Wu-Tang in it.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
They had Wu-Tang in it. Yeah, Wu-Tang was in it.
That was a very serious movie. Michael Rappaport was in it.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport was. Yeah, Heavy D had Heavy D in there.
That was more of a, like I say, we talked about the other day. That was more like, out of all the hip hop movies or anything, that was more like showing the political side of being affiliated.
Yeah.
Like who you with. If you ain't with or down with nothing, you ain't down. So yeah.
I think Q-Tip's in this film.
Yeah. That's
what it says right there, the Brad, Dr. Dre,
to
Tupac, Salt and Pepper. Okay.
To me, this is it. It's just as in like, cause it's hard. They like give you the truth in this month. Like it'll make you not like certain people the way they talking to people, but it's real because you come across people that's real bosses and you got lackeys around.
Yeah.
You let them know.
Yeah. Plus the soundtrack was dope as shit.
I can imagine. That's Wyclef right there, ain't it?
Huh?
Who that right there at the bottom?
I don't even know.
Huh. Now that's a hard cover. Like all the covers you show so far, that got to be the hardest movie cover.
All right, yeah, and most definitely check that out.
Perfectly laid out. Yeah.
A good 90s documentary about hip hop. I recommend people see that too. All right, here's another hip hop documentary from the 90s, which is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
The Show.
Yeah, that was that shit.
The Show?
Yeah, that was that shit. Y'all had me watching not too long ago.
My goodness, man.
Look at this film is on there.
This film is so 1995. The film was dope. The soundtrack is even doper. But this was like just 10 years after Def Jam started. Everybody was in here. Bad Boy. So you can see Piggy. Damn, my bad, Biggie. See Biggie and Puffy. I almost mixed the two names together.
Man.
See Biggie and Puffy. You see LL in here, just like a little cameo. Run DMC, Warren G. And his crew. The Twins is in here. Let's say Wu-Tang. Yeah, Wu-Tang. Dr. Dre. Slick Rick when he was in the joint. Russell goes to see him when he's locked up.
I do remember that part. That was that part was dope.
Yeah. This movie, so man, people thought they was gonna go to the movies and see these people acting.
Yeah.
When they used to show the trailer back in the day, and I was telling people then, this is a fucking documentary. You're not finna go and see Warren G in a scene with Biggie acting and shit. It's not gonna be like that. But people thought that. So a lot of people came like, man, I thought it was gonna be it's a fucking documentary.
And I guarantee if they go back and look at it now, they'd appreciate it.
Man, we'll most definitely appreciate it.
That's the funny thing about a lot of stuff, the expectations of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in with a certain expectation and ain't pleased with it, but when you go back and look on it, you're like, man, that shit was dope.
Yeah. I watch this at least twice a year. The Show is one of my favorite films. Yep.
You watch it for motivation or just watch it?
Just for a little bit of both, most definitely for motivation and nostalgia. You know, when I want to feel 90s.
What movie I told you I watch for motivation, goddamn, when I want to get motivated.
What movie was that?
Hustle and Flow.
Oh, yeah. Oh. All right. What about this film?
Man.
Hey, look, man.
I remember going to the movies at the drive-in theater and that one that was in the south suburbs.
And the House of Twin?
Yeah.
130 something?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they was doing a double feature, and they was showing this and Posse. They showed Posse first, and then they showed this.
Wow.
That's when you had to take the thing and put it in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, not to digress, but that drive-in theater, the Halsted Twin, I lived in Algale Gardens, which was right on the edge, right? So we used to actually walk through Golden Gates, cross that bridge on Indiana, and then walk up. I forget the main street. 130.
Like you had to turn it a little.
Yeah. So, but what we did was we knew some people in this apartment complex that was behind the drive-in. So what we did was cut a hole in the drive-in fence, and in the summer of 1986, every movie damn that came out that summer, we saw for free.
Damn.
We would go in the back, sit in the back, grab that little thing, that little speaker, and just go to the concessions, grab some shit, and come back out. And every movie that literally came out that summer, we damn near saw.
I know that was dope.
Man, dude, that's one of my most memorable times as a teen.
I can imagine.
I was 15. Why the fuck was I staying out so late? I don't know. Because I was getting back home like 1:30, 2 in the morning. We was there like from 5 to up until then, watching movies and shit.
Shit.
Yup. Dude, man, we did that shit. Friday the 13th, part something that came out that year. The Fly, Lethal Weapon. This was 86.
I still tell people Fly is the grossest movie ever. That movie is so goddamn gross. Oh my God. That shit. That's a horror film. That's a horror film.
Jeff Goldblum did a good job, though.
Oh, beyond.
Did a good ass job, though. The Brundle Fly and shit. Gina Davis, she did good too. Yeah, that I turned my girl onto that. She was fucked up by it.
Bro, I'm just sitting here thinking about that movie, man. That movie was disgusting.
But it's so disgusting. I just like to watch it.
I mean, it's good. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Have you seen the original?
That's what I'm talking about. No. Oh, it's a one before Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, that's just the remake. The one we talking about. Oh, shit. The original was just Disney World compared to that shit. The Disney World, the one, the original was like 1950 something, so it didn't have all the effects. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so watching this one, whew, yeah.
I ain't know that. See,
yeah.
Ain't nothing.
Oh, my damn light fell out.
Ain't nothing under the sun new.
All on tape. It's cool. Yeah, but yeah, that's a remake, but that's like better than the first one.
I know we ain't talk about this movie because it was straight trash. My bad.
Yeah, I didn't mean to digress, but yeah, we just had to talk about that. But Who's the Man? I consider hip hop film because
the first hip hop who done it.
That's what they're saying. But it's also to me like the second hip hop comedy after Disorderlies.
Okay, see, I was so young when this came out, and I definitely never watched it again. So what was the premise of this movie?
It was okay. Ed and Dre had a homeboy who owned the barbershop, and he ended up getting killed.
Okay.
So by them, so they joined the police force to find out who killed their friend and shit. So they had a million goddamn cameos. It's so many cameos you get distracted from the plot.
Yeah.
Criss Cross, EPMD, everybody, Salt and Pepper, everybody's in this motherfucking film, dog.
And so this was kind of like a sleuth movie, huh?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's comedy.
Okay.
It's really funny. It's a really good film.
I'm gonna have to go check.
And the soundtrack is dope as fuck too.
Now what happened to Ed Love and Dr. Dre?
Ed Love is still doing his thing. He's just older, but I think he has a show. He has a radio show out in New York, and I think he'd be on Sirius XM from now and then. I'm not too sure, but I think I heard him on that once. But Dr. Dre been having health issues. He had to get a leg amputated here a couple of years ago.
Okay, now this is another issue. Why neither one of them never tried to sue the other Dr. Dre?
They
had a mutual agreement?
No, it's just black culture.
I'm just asking because you know how shit.
Yeah, is. I know, but they never really can because they used to get them really confused.
Yeah, but I'm saying you never got them confused.
I mean, as far as when I would, because I heard this Dr. Dre first.
Yeah.
And then I heard that Dr. Dre. I thought he was part. I thought this Dr. Dre was part of that Dr. Dre. But then I seen the Dr. Dre from the West Coast. I'm like, no. So there's two Dr. Dre's and shit. Yeah. So but that Dr. Dre was part of Original Concept, a rap group that was signed to like Def Jam early, like right after LL got signed. I think they signed them too. And their biggest song was called Knowledge. Knowledge me, man.
They was the host on MTV Raps too.
MTV Raps, Ed Dre. Yep.
And they go their affiliation through the hip hop to be able to do this movie.
Definitely. So by them having that show, everybody come on that show, everybody was in the fucking movie.
I guarantee going back and look at this movie, this shit's probably done by MTV.
Check it out though. Yeah, it is an MTV film. They produced it. Yeah, so they put some dollars behind it. Of course, they're fucking video jocks doing the film and shit. But I liked it. It's not a real good movie, but it's
corny.
It's good corny.
I'm saying, okay, it's good corny.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this is my bad.
Okay, yeah, it's good corny. It's good corny.
Okay.
But I recommend people see it. If you want a good laugh, you want to go back to the 90s and see Criss Cross in the film, you know what I'm saying? And see some of the old artists who was who at that time, they're going to be in that movie right there.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't see them in that movie, you're going to see them in that video, Down with the King, Run DMC.
Okay.
That's my favorite video because I wanted that concept. I wanted to do a video just like that. Underground, everybody, all the MCs and DJs in Chicago will be there. I wanted that shit. I saw that video and was like, they stole my idea. I love that video. And, no, Andrew's not in that video. Okay. All right, let's go. I think we're going into the 2000s now. All right.
Okay.
Here is this one. Is this considered a hip-hop film?
Yeah, that's hip-hop.
All right. Now, you could probably tell me more about this because I've seen it like once and I hadn't seen it again. And there's no slight. It's just that I couldn't get into it. I didn't like the storyline.
Yeah,
it seemed dark throughout the whole
Not being
fucking
real,
film
the
and shit.
storyline was very depressing. Very.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed dark.
There was
throughout the
no
whole shit.
happy moments in the movie. Even how he won the rap battle wasn't happy. You know what I mean? So, because he got to talking about himself, like, hey, I'm white and I'm corny and shit. Yeah, I live in a trailer park. Yeah, da-da-da. So, yeah. But I consider it hip-hop because there was a lot of music in here.
I know they had the rap battle element in there.
Yeah, it had a lot of music. It showed them always writing rhymes on the bus.
So I wouldn't say it's not a hip-hop film. I'm almost definitely give this props.
Yeah.
It be on VH1 like a motherfucker, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I give it its credit.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it as far as a hip-hop
I give it a
film?
6 because it's depressing.
Okay. I can agree with that.
But the rhymes in the movie, great.
Dope as shit.
Yeah, very dope.
All right. And here's one we just mentioned a moment ago. Bam.
Man, that's a goddamn 10.
I love this film. I just watched it like last month.
That's a 10.
And I watched it back to back. As soon as it went off, I pressed
That's
play
a 10,
again.
man.
Yeah.
He got his girl going that up for the
Yeah.
mic.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. My man
Terrence
about
Howard did this movie. He did really good.
My man about the Casio from the Clucker. Does
Yeah.
work like a pool.
Hey, look. I had a homeboy that had that very same one. I think that's the Cameo SK10. And we used to produce. Now, what it does is give you 5 seconds of sample time. So what we did was we'll take the record that we want to sample. We'll play it in fast mode. You know, on a turntable, you can adjust the speed. So we'll sample it fast. Then we'll hit the lowest key. Then it'll play right in the right tempo. Yeah, we have to keep looping that motherfucker. They have more loops. We have to keep and shit.
That shit crazy.
Yeah,
I
we
say,
didn't have
do
no-
you get what I mean? The innovativeness
Man,
of that.
'cause we didn't know nothing about MIDI. And
I know
syncing
somebody
shit
was
up.
talking about one of them SP something. It was like 3 seconds. Like,
The SP12?
Fuck you sampling
Yes.
with 3 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, so we had, by speeding it up, they gave us an additional 3 seconds. They gave us 8 seconds of sample time. It's not a lot compared to now. Because now you can just sample as much as you fucking want to.
I would have been gave up back in the day. Like, man, fuck this shit.
Man, shit. We was in it. The same thing with him. He bought the keyboard because why did he need the keyboard? Oh, he was making a deal. He wanted some weed. The dude wanted some weed. And he was just making a trade. That's what it was.
That's what he's like, do it work? He's like,
Yeah.
like a brew. Whatever he said, like a fool.
Yeah.
Whatever the clucker
That movie
said.
good as shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, my favorite part, my favorite part of the movie is when he go over your boy house and dude be like, see, it's people that walk the walk and there's people that talk the talk. Then you got people that talk the talk that convince people into walking. And dude say, I'm ready to walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
Yeah.
you need that motivation sometimes.
It's a good motivational film.
Fucking
It's very
right.
inspirational.
I got you, D.
Yeah.
I got you,
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, and Ludacris did his thing in it. It had some cameos by Haystack was in it.
DJ
Paul was in it. Juicy J was in it.
Yeah.
I-20 was in it. Remember him?
Yeah. Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes was in it. Yup.
He's doing
Rest in
that
peace.
On the bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good ass film, man. And again, and it was crazy because right before that, we just talked about 8 Mile, and now we're talking about this one. And both these films got Oscars. For I think they got both for original film, original score.
Yeah. It's hard out here for a pimp.
What was Eminem's Lose Yourself?
Yeah, Lose Yourself.
Yep. Big up. Salute.
That was that shit.
Hip hop was,
and that cover hard as hell.
It is, ain't it?
Look at that cover.
Yeah. Yeah. That cover is dope as shit.
His AC work, D. Boy, that movie. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Hell, she look like his AC work, D. Like, boy, get your ass out here and make this money.
Right, yeah. All right. Here's one that was produced by MTV. You see this one? Mekhi Phifer, Beyonce. Carmen, a hip hopera. What'd you think about it?
I turned this shit off in like the first 5 minutes.
What? Really?
Man, I remember watching this shit, but I was not impressed. I mess with Mekhi, cause I tell you, ain't no actor cried more movies than this dude.
He be in his movies crying and shit a lot.
That movie that fool playing, he cried.
Damn, I didn't peep that.
Othello, this.
Did he cry in
Paid in Full?
He did cry in Aim. Did he cry in Clockers? Was he in Clockers?
Yeah, he cried in Clockers too, and they had his ass locked up there.
Damn.
Yeah, nigga, he known for crying. That was
He
his
must have
claim to
got.
fame.
He must have won his, got his audition by crying. He probably know how to just cry on cue.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah, he got
It's
that.
probably his Hollywood talent. Mekhi know how to cry on cue and shit.
Othello is my shit though.
Is he Othello in the film?
Yeah,
Okay.
they made it in the, you ain't never watched O?
No.
You never seen O? Well, he was in college and he was a basketball player.
No.
And the dude convinced O that his girl was sleeping with his friend and he ended up killing his girl.
Oh,
and the
no.
police ended up killing him on the college campus. He was a star basketball player.
Whoa, no.
That nigga was mad. One game, he was mad. And the dude that was messing with him was mad because his father was the coach and he liked the O more than him. So he was trying to fuck O shit up. So
Wow.
yeah, so he started planting all that shit. But by the time everybody started figuring out what it was, he already had killed the old girl.
Damn.
Oh, hard.
I'ma check it
man.
out.
Oh, it's called
Okay.
O. It's based on the Shakespeare play Othello.
Yeah, Othello. Okay. Now this Carmen is actually a remake or like just a spin, a remix, not a remake but a remix of this one.
Carmen
You ever
Jones.
seen Carmen Jones?
No sir.
It has Dorothy Dandridge and Harry Belafonte.
No sir.
It's really good.
Okay.
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 So that's what they tried to put like a hip hop spin on this right here.
But is the story similar though?
Similar. It's similar. He's in the service, falls in love with this chick, but she's loose. She want to do her thing. She don't want to get tied down, and he fucking doing everything he can to get with her. I don't know if he dies in the end trying to chase after her, but she turns out to be not all that. For
They
him.
always trying to show us being some suckers.
Yeah, but that's what they. Because remember, this how it was in the film with theirs. He was hooked on Beyonce, but she was blowing him off, and she didn't want to be locked down and shit. Same thing with this. All right. Here's one right here. Bam.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah.
My man was getting head in the bathroom stall, boy.
Now I hadn't seen this one in a while.
Classic. It used to be the Muslim. They started to be on 79th and Stony Island. I can't remember this group, but they actually had the group called Soldiers at War. That song, Oh My Mama, huh?
I remember them Soldiers at War.
Yeah, they had that song called Oh My Mama. The main group dude was the dude that was rapping to Jay-Z and DMX.
Really?
That was freestyling in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But I remember Soldiers at War.
I used to see him all the time. Yeah, but I remember the first time I saw him after that. I was like, dude, you killed it. X was on it. X was feeling him. Jay was just looking at him.
Yeah.
You know, cause Jay like, whatever. And DMX know it was real. DMX like, oh, it's a Muslim rapping like this.
DMX had silent power. He probably would have
That's
signed
hard though.
Yeah.
That's hard. Jay-Z say he hated that because he said he used to have to go after DMX. So you the closer, and he said he didn't make the crowd hype and cry.
Yeah.
He said, how the hell I'm gonna come back after making them cry? That's why he say every time he did that shit, he always made sure he came out with Money Cash Hoes first. Because who was on that song? DMX.
So he was riding that wave, huh?
That nigga was smart.
Yeah, very smart. Jigga be knowing how to do that shit. Yeah. All right, but yeah, this is a good hip-hop film. I recommend people see it as well. Also,
it's very real.
Huh?
It's very real.
You think it's better than Fade to Black?
No, I said it's very real.
Real?
Yeah, very. Yeah. The shit they doing in there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like whoever was the editor of that shit, he saw some shit. No, he saw some shit.
Yeah.
Because if you go look at that backstage and just watch how the editing is, ooh. Botchery. They can't hold on. Look like they about to say shit. About to cut the. We can't beep. We can't keep the boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Man, they had to edit the hell out that shit.
I'm gonna go back and check it out.
Especially when Benny Siegel used to get on the screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and check that out. All right, and this last one here is, if I didn't bring this one in, I probably got screamed on and shit.
Oh yeah, that's
Is this considered a hip hop film? To me, it's inspired by the culture.
You know what's so funny about this? My homeboys was just talking about it this they self, and they was saying not really, but then I be like, when you just listen to the like, hey, come on, man, like.
Why did everybody talk about that?
I don't know.
What is it about,
man?
The acapella to
the way that shit just.
What is it? Soul to Soul, Back to Life.
Man,
what is it about that?
The way it just come on, man. It's just.
What's going on?
I mean, it's.
I don't, man. People love that part.
I don't know. I always call it the Black Scarface.
You think it's on that level?
The premises. The ox.
I don't wait.
No. I'm just saying the whole ox situation. Him supposed to kill somebody.
So
he didn't kill him. You know what I mean? You remember he's supposed to kill a Muslim dude.
Right, but he didn't kill him.
Right. Same with Scarface is supposed to kill dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way the Jamaican dude went out. Yeah. You want to rather fuck with me? Yeah. That's the Scarface scene.
He went out
with the AK, the way he
died. Right. Oh, girl,
the way he died.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It had a bunch of elements from Scarface to me. You know, even the scene when they was in the restaurant, when he had the two dudes there, they're finna kill each other. But he did kill him.
Yeah, he did shoot dude.
You know what I mean? Like
the best scene I liked in that movie was the Method Man scene. When he was in the club. Taking the shots, like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Who did he say? What was the dude he kept saying? He was saying he had a message from homeboy. Knowledge.
Yeah,
knowledge, man. And then he lit their asses up, dude. I love that scene. He ran out
the club
with the Timbs on and shit.
The whole movie though.
That movie dope as shit.
Police can't do shit to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm smoking weed.
Vita. I don't know why, but I always thought Vita was sexy as hell, man. The chick there with the DMX fucking on the side, the side piece.
Even the scene when Met the Man went to go fuck her up. He's beating the shit out of her. He's beating the shit out of Keisha.
But
you feel me? Like that whole movie, even when T-Boz wasn't in the house, some niggas sitting in her living room. Like
that was crazy.
Man, even the shit that happened in Nebraska when the police, the ATF kicked in the door. Like the movie is very, like I said, to me, I know you probably like why you say that, but when you just look at the elements of Scarface, see, Scarface is a very long ass movie, but if you condense it down and look at that, that's the Black Scarface.
I remember seeing movie posters on the side of the buses for Scarface back in '83, and I was like, what is Scarface? I never really saw Scarface like in the '90s, but I saw that shit, was like, wow.
When I was
see why everybody on this shit.
When I was a kid, the only thing that stood out till I saw it again till I was a teenager is the scene in the bathroom.
Scarface?
That's the only scene I can remember. I cannot remember nothing else about that movie. But that whole scene. But you gotta think about a lot of movies took that stuff from Scarface, like the 50 Cent movie. Remember they sitting in the club and the mirrors all in the club and the two Filipino dudes pull out the gun and shoot at 50 and them and hit his homeboy. Same thing with Scarface. Yeah. Like if you look at that movie, a lot of movies. I tell you another crazy part though, Scarface, I know y'all think, but remember every time they was sniffing cocaine, how the camera kind of like zoomed in extra
on Scarface.
Just period, like when they used to show it on TV. Like remember when they was in the Cadillac, when they was sniffing cocaine in the Cadillac, and they just show it on TV. They just kind of like zoom past it where you didn't see them do it.
Oh, really?
But you just hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They never cut the scene. That shit was funny.
Yeah, but
nah, it ain't hip hop.
You don't think so?
Nah, if I had to, it'd probably be about a 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's inspired by the culture, but there's nothing about the culture.
There's not a lot of music in it.
There's not a lot of movies, but the music that is in it, the little bit you hear is okay. Yeah.
At the beginning.
No.
That shit.
Yeah, people love that beginning. I mean, that's what all people be talking about. Because when I was watching it last month, I'm like, okay. I'm trying to see what is it about this beginning that people love.
Because so how they coming in the spot doing their shit, and they going to the music and the flash,
and the dark shit. Yeah, got the fucking going dark contacts on and shit.
Yeah, very hard, different.
All right, yeah, hype. Yeah, what has he ever made any more movies since then?
Don't give me the line.
I know they did a Belly 2 with Game, and I was like, I stayed away from this. I didn't even try to watch it. So I don't know what's about.
They should have called that movie Intestine. Fuck. That shit was trash.
Wow.
Man. Oh my! I was so mad.
I wouldn't have done a follow up to
That's
Belly.
just like How High 2. How you gonna do a How High 2 without Redman and Method Man? Some shit you just can't sequel out, bro.
I agree. Some shit just be
like you see with the Terminator movies, they always threw Arnold in there somehow.
Yeah.
Some way. Even if the movie wasn't even with him, they get that nigga his 10, 15 minutes. But it's like, okay, Terminator.
You're right.
You see him, you like it's Terminator. You know what I mean? But like even the last Freddy, had it would have been with your boy, they would have been like, ooh, this Freddy.
So
but
the remake?
The remake. That shit was...
I don't like none of these. I'm hoping that they don't try to remake none of these films.
No.
Like... They already messed Belly up.
No, Robert England said get Kevin Bacon and do them. Ooh.
They get what?
Robert England said get Kevin Bacon and do them. I ain't gonna lie. When he said that, I was like, Kevin Bacon?
It's Freddy Krueger?
And Freddy Krueger? Yeah, man.
I can't see that.
I don't know, man. That dude that plays evil roles. You ain't seen that movie, the new movie he in? That movie when he kidnapped that kid and got him in the basement and shit? And the telephone in the basement with the dead kids.
No.
That shit's so creepy.
He's a good actor, but I don't see him doing Freddy.
I mean, you know, your predecessor. Ain't too many times the predecessor try to get a successor.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, but I hope they don't try to like redo something like House Party.
They are. They is.
Oh, I just fucked it up. I just fucked it up.
Damn. I forgot who redoing it, but it's some major names behind it, though. It actually some it ain't. It just ain't like some Omarion them niggas doing like no. It got some names behind it. I think it like a DC Curry in it, but it got some names like some big heads behind it.
House Party.
They remake it. They remake House Party.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things I know we're digressing off the topic, but just we're talking about films. I just feel like some films shouldn't be touched, like a House Party. Coolie High. You see what I'm saying? Those to me, those stories can't be retold.
Juice.
Do not fucking touch Juice.
I mean, all the movies you just showed us.
New Jack City. Don't redo that.
Even the movie we just watched, can't none of them really be remade. You know what I mean? Like all of them, none of them.
They can be, but I don't even. Like House Party's a fun film, you know, so I can see them trying to. Whatever, but I think a lot of these remakes have been like just terrible for the franchise because they become part of the franchise. Like when Rob Zombie redid Halloween and Halloween 2, that killed the franchise.
Well, Listening to
at that time.
Listening to Ice Cube the other day on the podcast talking about how when you do a movie with a studio, usually when you do it with a studio, they tie you into a contract to do your next 6, 7, 8 films.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of happened with these house parties. You know what I mean? They just start trying to find the hottest person to lease it off to. And that's, any movie that you can think that just like the scary movies.
Yeah.
Them first 3 classic.
Yeah.
After the Wayans brothers took their name off of it,
Yeah.
them shits was trash.
Yeah.
They want their shit back, but they ain't finna give them back there because that's a hell of a catalog now.
Wow, man. Wow. All right. Well, anything you want to say before we dip set?
Nah, man. I say out of the hip hop movies, it was, if I could just go off the top of the head real quick, 3 hip hop movies that we could have probably implemented in there. Let me see real quick. I don't really know. Is it anything you can go off the top of your head? Like just movies you think you could have put in there or hip hop wise?
No, because like after like Backstage and Fade to Black, there was nothing else that came out that made me be like, okay, I don't want to.
They tried like with that Anthony Anderson movie that was on Netflix, Beat.
I don't even know.
Like the dude was like,
was he a producer or something?
He was a young boy that was in Chicago, and he kind of went through a PTSD moment, but he was good at music, and Anthony Anderson was trying to help him reach his potential and stuff. And it was
flew right over my head.
Yeah, I know, but it was all right for what it was. For what it was, showing like how it is in the hood, trying to make it out the hood. And
now there hasn't been any good hip hop movies, but there's been plenty good hip hop documentaries. I just didn't bring them up, like the of Men and Mice, the Wu-Tang documentary, the Nas, Time is Illmatic, the Tribe Called Quest doc. It's plenty of documentaries out there, but actual hip hop films, there ain't been none out there like that.
Do you like the Wu-Tang show?
The first season, they got another season coming out, or that was just it?
I think they got 3 seasons. That's all.
The first one was good. I was still trying to understand dude that played RZA. Like his acting style kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? Like when he was in Equalizer, he was okay in that film.
Yeah.
Equalizer 2. We was in Equalizer 2.
He's a all right actor. Yeah. I'll tell you who a cold ass actor that's from the hip hop scene. We can just talk about that real quick. Like Joey Badass.
He's dope.
He dope.
He's good in films.
I like him.
Yeah, now hip hop actors, Latifah is good.
Chicago.
Cube is good. LL is getting good. LL still, I love LL, but to me he's not convincing yet.
He alright. He fought sharks. That nigga had a parrot.
Who else?
Busta Rhymes. Remember he was in the Halloween movie?
they be sitting on his part too.
Yeah, Ludacris was in a movie.
Ludacris I like. Ludacris is a good actor.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so funny. I used to tell people he got beat up. He actually got beat up by Terrence Howard twice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what?
And Hustle and Flow and what else?
Okay, what's the other movie?
No, I'm asking what else?
Crash.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure
Don't call me no
did.
nigga. Don't call me no nigga no good.
Sure the fuck did.
Don't call me no nigga no good.
Sure the fuck did.
Yeah,
that movie, I like Crash.
Crash is amazing.
It was, when I first saw it, I was like,
It was different.
I was trying to tell the stories in.
As you always talk about tethers, that's a tether.
Yes.
That's a tether.
Yeah. But that shit was good though, man.
Q-Tip, he played in a movie
Q-Tip
too.
was a good actor too. But he ain't been in enough.
Yeah.
But what he did in
50 hard. I'm sorry. 50's a good actor. He's a good actor. I like 50. I like him. Everything he had played in, 50 do a good job, man.
Okay.
He play a good job. I tell people.
Method Man's good.
Method Man's hella good, especially as the lawyer on Power.
Yeah.
He played a hell of a role on that.
Method Man's good.
If Tupac wouldn't have passed away, I'm just keeping it real. Dude,
Tupac
would be the Denzel Washington of, yeah.
Tupac was a damn good actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. I'm proud of all of them, man.
Any female? I know Nicki's been on a few things. You know.
Obviously,
Eve.
Queen Latifah. Eve
had a TV
She's
show.
okay. She had a TV show. She carried it too, so it did its thing.
Any other hip hop people ever had a TV show like that?
Will Smith.
What's
of course,
Flex?
Fresh Prince.
What's Flex? A comedian?
Flex is a comedian, but of course it was Will Smith for Fresh Prince, LL in the House. That's all I can think
Now this
of
was
at
a
the
crazy.
moment.
Now did In the House come on? Cause wasn't Arfetto? I mean, wasn't Carlton on that show too?
He came in later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As one of the partners in the damn health facility that they bought. The sporting facility.
Didn't he have like a sporting agency or something?
It was like he was like a doctor at it's like this sports rehab facility.
No, I'm talking about,
like
ain't that what LL was trying to have? Like a sport agency on that show?
No, he was trying to have.
I know that was his house.
But
it was his house. He was renting it out.
Right.
And then he lost his career football.
Right.
Cause I remember the pilot episode.
Right.
He was in the kitchen
and no girl
making some coffee. She came down there like, "Who the fuck is you?" And she's like, "Oh, he like, it's my house. I'm just standing in the garage." I do remember that. And then one day she needed a babysitter, and that's how it started.
Yeah. Out of those, okay, Latifah had Living Single. Will Smith had Fresh Prince. LL had In the House. I can't think of any hip hop acts that had a TV show though.
Nah, them about it.
They were all successful.
Yeah, very successful.
Yeah.
Did they 5, 6 years? None of them got cut off.
I think that's it. That I know of. I may be forgetting something.
Bushwick Bill made a cameo on Martin.
Oh yeah, he did. Biggie made a cameo on there.
Yeah. Biggie Smalls made the cat. Remember when Gina and Pam?
Yeah, I'm saying Biggie was. And that's the episode when Mark was like, because they was cat fighting.
Yeah,
shit. Like, well, if you add one more, you'd be phony. All you need is one more, you'd be phony.
Yeah, nah. That's funny.
Man, listen to me. Black culture ruled the 90s.
Shit, Tupac was on the college show. Different World.
Different World.
Yeah,
he did make an appearance on that.
He was on that.
He did make an appearance on that.
He was on there one time.
I
would say if you really go back and like look, a lot of the guys made a lot of cameos. Like hip hop is major, man.
Yeah.
Everybody made their little cameos on shows.
Yeah, them the days when TV was still good. Network television was still good. Cable television was still good. Now this, it's okay because I like all the streaming stuff, but it's so much content out here. I can't keep up with all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Between the content that's on all the platforms and then the content that you and I make and stuff like that on YouTube and everyone, it's so much shit out here to fucking watch and try to keep up with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, I'm watching a show on HBO Max called Primal.
I be seeing it, I just don't.
And what make it work? Ain't no talking in there. It's just about a caveman trying to survive in the caveman. Him and
no grunting.
He doing that a little bit, grunting and shit, but ain't no talking. I'm talking. I've been into this show. My homeboy told me about it, and I'm like, dude, really? But it's so funny. My homeboy. We like the similar show, so I'm watching this shit. That's what I ain't gonna lie. Took a little. I was trying to hurry the episode go off. The shit just so good, but because I can watch it and do everything, but I have to listen to dialogue, but just catch it doing this thing. But it's very interesting. To actually see a show with no words, like a whole 22-minute episode show, cracking with no words. That's what's amazing to me right now.
I might look into it because I got HBO Max. I might check it out. Yeah. Well,
I appreciate you, Dollar Bill. I know we didn't went way off the subject.
No,
we went from
this is a good show. This is a good show.
TV.
Good idea. Thanks for the idea. It's a good topic.
Yes, sir.
And again, I am Dollar Bill. This is my special guest, TY38.
Yes, sir.
Check him out. And also, if you're in the Nashville area, you need your whip clean, hooked up, visit yourwaymobilecardcare.com. Give him the number.
615-485-8449, or you can also reach me at yourmobiledetail@gmail.com, or you can reach me on Instagram at yourwaymobile. And I'm always taking new appointments, but I am by schedule.
Right on. I'm Dollar Bill, and as I always say, preserve the culture, and it's FBA versus everybody.
Yes,
We out.
peace.